The Old and New Testaments of the Bible, as well as ancient Greek and Egyptian texts, include stories of those who defied death via forms of ascension, but to many, the most compelling tales of transcendence are accounts from the Tibetan Buddhist rainbow body tradition. In Tibet and Central Asia, the Buddhist rainbow body tradition goes back to the 8th century, beginning with the great master Padmasambhava, but 20th and 21st century documentation show that this is no myth or legend. Practitioners, from the highest lamas to the most humble laypeople, have attained rainbow body. Generally, the individual, who entered meditation before death, continues to maintain the meditation posture. They do not topple, slump, or display rigor mortis. The body, particularly the area around the heart, stays warm. This was recorded by medical science in the case of the 16th Karmapa, Rangjung Dorje, who died in a Chicago hospital in 1981. Head of the Kagyu lineage of Tibetan Buddhism. The Karmapa shared the same status and importance as the Dalai Lama, head of the Gelugpa lineage. He traveled to the West in 1974 with the wish to transfer the teaching of the Dharma to places it would flourish. The following account is from Karmapa's attending physician, Dr. David Levy. He said that after noting indications of heart failure on the monitors, the medical team tried to revive Karmapa, but gave up after about 45 minutes. We began to pull out the tubing, but I suddenly saw his blood pressure was 140/80. A nurse screamed that he has a good pulse. The team members were incredulous. An older Tibetan Lama in attendance patted Levy on the back as if to say, "It's impossible, but it happens." Levy said, "It was clearly the greatest miracle I had ever seen." Levy reported that 48 hours after the time of death, Karmapa's chest was still warm. "My hands were both warm, but his chest was warmer," he said. "If I moved my hands towards the side of his chest, the body was cold, but the area around the heart stayed warm." He also reported that there was no odor or decay, which typically set in quickly after death. He stayed in deep meditation for 3 days. Then it ended, he became cold and the process of death set in. The atmosphere changed as well. These unusual post-death occurrences are accepted as normal in the case of those who reach high levels of attainment. Because of this, Tibetans observe a clear precept to never move or touch a body for at least 3 days after the moment of death, particularly in case of realized beings and meditation masters. The Karmapa also displayed signs of rainbow body years before his death. In the 1970s, Karmapa traveled throughout the US giving the public Black Crown ceremony empowerment. This teaching is only given by those of the Karmapa lineage and has been passed to the present via an unbroken lineage from the early 1400s. During the key moment in the empowerment, while Karmapa was holding the black crown over his head, an attendee snapped a picture. When the film was developed, the image of the Karmapa was transparent. The brocade of his seat can be clearly seen through the ghost-like image of his body. Those in attendance saw nothing out of the ordinary at the time. This image has been widely circulated since, and is considered a vivid demonstration of the rainbow body. In 1989, Yesh Gyaltsen, a Tibetan monk, entered into a personal retreat hermitage with the knowledge that he was going to die soon and left instructions that his room be undisturbed during his final meditation in this lifetime. Soon after, the Dalai Lama recognized the rare accomplishment of this master meditator in achieving Jalo Powa, or rainbow body, a phenomenon in which the body of the deceased is dissolved into rainbow light, leaving only hair, teeth, and nails, if anything. In December 2015, a Tibetan monk named Khenpo Thubten Sherab is said to have achieved rainbow body in a remote area of Kham in eastern Tibet. The day before Sherab's passing away, he told his followers, "Now it's time for me to leave this existence. I appreciate all of your kindness and forgive me if I have said any harsh words to any of you." Dressed in his yellow monk's meditation and ritual robe, his body slowly shrank, day by day, until it was about 18 inches from top to bottom and missing all 4 limbs. How do they achieve this? The method is known as Dzogchen meditation. The word Dzogchen is derived from the Tibetan Dzogpa Chenpo. Dzogpa means complete, and Chenpo means great. While these teachings are nuanced and complex, in essence, after receiving pointing out instructions from a qualified teacher, the practitioner works through stages of meditation to realize the self-perfected state of our primordial nature. Dzogchen has been called the cream and heart juice of all teachings. The first stage, Trekcho, is the persistent cutting through the psychic karmic debris that obscures the primordial awareness within all of us: resistance, resentment, arrogance, pride, vanity, discursive thoughts of judgment and disapproval, delusion, jealousy, and hatred. The second stage, Togul, is a direct dissolution of all karma. The Trekcho stage is required to reach the Togul state. Togul is considered instantaneous, immediate realization with an intense, point-blank quality. It requires enormous discipline, and is generally practiced in a retreat environment. It cannot be stressed too often that the path of Dzogchen can only be followed under the direct guidance of a qualified master, said Sogyal Rinpoche, author of the Tibetan Book of Living and Dying. In a review of Rainbow Body and Resurrection by Michael Sheehy, the author writes, "In Dzogchen cosmology, the cosmos is envisioned as being utterly open and translucent. Movement ensues when the element of air stirs up wind that oscillates rapidly into fire, from fire emerges water, and from water, the solidity of rock and earth are stabilized. With this gravitational collapse into the elemental forces that comprise the cosmos, a spiraling reconfigure matter into worlds wherein embodied beings form. Think of high vibratory states slowing down until they become dense matter. This view is fundamental to Buddhism, and is the beginning and end point of rigorous disciplines undertaken for the benefit of all beings. Miraculous activities, such as passing through walls, leaving foot and handprints in stone, reviving the dead, and appearing in multiple locations at the same moment, are considered mere byproducts of accomplishment. They are not the point, only signs along the way. To become infatuated with these powers is to risk pride and arrogance. True Dzogchen practitioners hide their accomplishments to avoid attention and distractions. Chasing these abilities, or siddhis, without compassion and dedication to the freedom of all beings, borders on sorcery, the pursuit of supernatural powers for the benefit of self.